Mike, where did it all start for you?
Okay, well, thanks again, Glenn, to you and the team for the opportunity. Really appreciate it. I started at Halfords back in the day. So my journey started when I left school at 15. I didn't do O-levels. I wasn't clever enough to go to college. I didn't really know what I was going to do. Halfords in those days were not the super centres that they are. They were more kind of high street retail shops. And again, I didn't have a clue what I wanted to do. Saw an advert in the paper and applied for a position of a sales assistant. Back in the day, I was quite a nervous kind of guy. I had a stutter, which is a stammer now. It seems to be an American terminology. So I struggled with my own confidence. So for me, it was much more challenging. I managed to get an interview. I went up to Halfords, and there's a bit of a story. But I want to tell this story because there should be no exclusion for anybody wanting to come into the aftermarket supply chain. When I went for the interview, I didn't actually go, I bottled it. I couldn't do it, so I walked away pretty much devastated, went home. My mum said, "What's happened?" I said, "I couldn't do it, Mum, I just couldn't do it." So she said, "Well, okay, let me ring up." Spoke to the guy, Fred Vincent was the manager. "My son couldn't do it, bit of a stammer, one thing and another. Will you give him a chance?" And the ironic thing is, he said, "Yes, bring him up tomorrow and we'll sit him down."
Yeah.
And for me, it was quite a thing early on around giving somebody a chance that couldn't have maybe have gone in, and I don't know where I would have ended up. So anyway, went through 4 years at Halfords, absolutely loved it. Then went into motor factoring, joined a company called Kafka Automotive Limited, was there for 18 years, man and boy. Enjoyed probably 17 of those 18 years. Met some fantastic people. Steve Jarnett is one that I know, who you've interviewed already. People like Chris O'Mahony, these kinds of guys that kind of really helped me develop my career. So love that. All the motor factory inside, branch manager of the year 3 times, all the rest of it. A bit of a potted story. Then went on to work at All Parts Automotive. And I suddenly realised the difference between motor factoring and parts distribution. I thought, what could possibly be different? It's a fulfilment role. We answer the phones, we sell car parts, we put them on the backs of vans and garages fit them. What could be so diverse? The difference was the sheer volumes that we were dealing with at All Parts, but also the culture that was running through that business. And that business was run by a guy called Mark Darville, great guy, and Mark's now running a successful independent garage called Hillclimb Garage in High Wycombe. So anyway, became head of sales at All Parts Automotive. Again, met some fantastic people, some of them are still lifelong friends. And then my journey took me to the UK Parts Alliance, based in the West Midlands, where I was asked to, along with Roy Rogers, ex-Unipart, develop a garage concept, which we did, called Alliance Auto Centre. And part of my role was to work with some of the industry big boys, the Andrew Pages, the Central Auto Supplies, the Campbell Auto Factors, these guys. But again, it was another development in my career that I needed all my parts knowledge for to be able to kind of pull myself through, really. So I did the UK Parts Alliance, which was absolutely fantastic. And then I got offered the chance to work for one of the leading trade associations in the UK. And thanks to Laurel Clark, again, it's not kind of what you know, it's who you know. So Laurel spoke to Wendy Williamson, who was CEO at the time, and ultimately I went there and developed the IAAF business as head of membership. And then towards the end of 2022, I think you just get to a time in your career where maybe your race has run and it's just time for me to do something else. So at the ripe old age of 59, I left and thought, what am I going to do now? But again, coming through the ranks and dealing with some fantastic people, I had a couple of phone calls. One was from Jeremy Tolman at Varda Batteries, who said, "Mike, would you come and do some work for us on a project by project basis?" Neil Lloyd Williams at Lucas Oil, exactly the same. And I kind of instantly found myself in a position thinking, do you know what, I can do this. The boy who left school at 15 with nothing, who's come through, I can do this. So I set up Aftermarket Business Solutions, which is quite simply providing solutions to businesses in the automotive aftermarket. And touch wood, that's still going very strong today, and I'll be able to maybe shed some light on that a little bit later on.